Good morning. Good morning, y'all. This morning I am drinking my coffee out of this beautiful little doggy cup that says her on it. Hers. Really, really cute little doggy cup. If you guys don't know, Ken and I have a lot of dogs, so we love dogs around here. This morning, y'all, we are going to be doing a quick color separation. I'm going to make this really easy. It's already actually vector artwork. And a lot of times people think that when they're doing color separations, all you need to have is vector art. Well, it's not completely true. Sometimes if you have art that's touching or you have outlines and things like that, you need to do what's called spreads and chokes, add gutters, do yolks, things like that. And I'll explain this all in the video, because when you just color separate normally, that's called butt registration, where you have just the two colors that are just butting up to each other. And it's a lot easier if you just kind of overlap one color slightly, so that when you go to press, you don't have to fight with your press being off, or with just the when you flash something shrinking, or just any type of issues. So in this video, that's what we're going to cover. Let's go ahead and jump on over into Corel. And no matter what program you're using, as long as you're using a vector program, you can do this too. So it may be a little bit different over here, but you'll get the gist of what I'm doing. So let's jump on over there and get this party rocking. So I'm over in Corel, and I already have my artwork set up, okay? So what we're going to do is I'm going to come down here and go to fit to page. Let's go here to fit it to this page. Okay, so I'm going to try not to use my glasses unless I really need them. So the first thing that I like to do is go ahead and size your artwork. I know you guys are not new to it, and if you are, then make sure that you go and watch the other videos on designing in Corel Draw on this channel. There's literally probably 75, 80 videos under the home page under graphic design videos, okay? So I have my artwork in the size that I want to print it, and I want to print this in like a 10.7 because I'm going to use 11 inch wide film. So we have our design here, and what I want to do is, I know that everything is vector, and let's go here. So we have everything sent over as vector. We're going to go back to this enhanced view, and what I'm going to do is I am going to duplicate this, Control D, and I'm going to set this over to the side. Okay, just so that I can see as I'm doing color separation. So this is my original channel. I'm going to create a few different channels. So let's do one page, which is going to be rename it. We're going to rename that Underbase. Underbase. We are going to need a yellow channel. So let's rename that channel yellow. And you can do this on layers, but this is much easier to do this one on pages. Okay, so today we're going to use this new multi-page feature that Corel has, and we're going to work on pages. So we have another channel. So we've got, so far we've got our Underbase channel, we've got our yellow channel. We're going to do a highlight. Well, we'll do a red. We need a red, a blue, and then I will just go ahead and make a highlight white channel whether I use it or not. And let's go ahead and rename this. Oh, what did I say? Red, blue, and a highlight white. Now, so this particular design, we're going to separate it to be 5 colors. You can use this as a 4-color design, being as how the fourth color in the design can be the highlight white, which would be just a top white without an underbase, or just do an underbase and not do your top white. We're going to make this design really, really easy to do, right? Okay, so let's go back here to our original, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and paste this everything, Control C, and let's go here to Control V. And then I want to just go up here and just look at the multi-page, because, okay, and that's what I wanted to see. I wanted to see if it was going to bring that other piece over to the side, and it didn't. So on H1, I will copy that before I do another Control V and put me a copy to the side. That's just for me because I'm doing so many of these. Let's go to the yellow channel, Control V, Control V. So we'll make it 2 copies, and I'm just putting one to the side of each channel so that I still have a reference. Control V, Control V. And you guys will understand as I go on if you don't understand why I'm doing that. You gotta learn how to use those keyboard shortcuts. We're gonna hit Control V and Control V. And so now we have all of our channels. And you could go here to your view and do your multi-page view, but I don't know how it's going to look now because I've got all of those channels. There we go. So you actually can't see the other one to the side. So the first thing that we want to do is I'll just work here in the original view for ease. First thing we want to do is we want to take everything here on this first channel, and we are going to convert it to we need to create an underbase. Now let me think about that for a second, because I never do separations all the same exact way, guys. So here's the underbase channel that we want. Okay. So I never do separations the same. I always do them for what's going to be easier for me. Let's do about 75. I always do what's going to be easy for me. And so the first thing I'm going to do is we're going to take this and we're going to make this black. Okay. So let's take it black. And because we want to, and there's an outline there, let's go ahead and take that outline, and let's just remove that outline because I don't know why that would have an outline. Okay, so what I want to do, you see all of those little, you can really see if you look very closely at those little lines. Okay, we don't want that. We want this whole thing to be one solid piece. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up here in Corel, and you see you have combined and then you have weld. Oh, let me see here. Oh, where was that at? Combine. Huh. That did not weld how I wanted it to weld. It surely did not. It surely did not. Nope, that's not doing what I want it to do at all. Let's see here. So, okay. That will give me the white there. And actually pretty. This wasn't what I wanted. I wanted a solid under base, but I'm looking at it to see if that would work for me. No, that's not what I want. So let's not do that. Let's go here and let's group this. I'm not sure why that did not weld the way that I wanted it to weld, but I want to choke this and I want it all to be. Let me go here and ungroup. That's kind of weird that that's doing that way, y'all, to me. Let's see what else we can do. I need to put these dang glasses on now. Okay. No, I don't want to trim. That one. Let's just create a boundary. And let's see what happened. Where did it go? There's the boundary right there, which would be black. Okay, that's what we'll do. Let's go back and move all of that stuff back. Okay, so we'll take this whole thing and then we'll just create a boundary. And then we'll take this boundary and make this boundary black. Okay, this would be great to actually change this to a layer now because, you know, it is what it is. But all of that stuff is back behind there. And we're going to have to put it exactly back where it belongs, doing it this way, because for some reason normally you can just group it and that be that, but let's go ahead and take this and hit object and order this to the back of the page, and then we know that there's a bunch of stuff that's up in here that I want to delete. And then let's take a view at this and look at this, and we're going to take out all of this other stuff. Now we have this wireframe, and that's all we want. So now let's go back to our enhanced view and look at it. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to double click over here on this rectangle, and I'm going to make a page color here over in Corel. We're actually going to be printing this on like a dark red like that. So let's work in the color that we're going to be printing this on, okay? Now, is there a registration mark on there? No. Okay. Okay, so this is the color that we're going to print on. So what we want to do is we want to choke this, and we want to choke back our under base, and we want to, oh, we have that white there that needs to stick out, and so let's go back, let's go back, y'all, to where I had this wireframe and that horse. Okay. Okay. And this one right here. Okay. So let's view it now. Effects, view. Sometimes I see stuff as I'm doing things, and I'm like, okay, well, my highlight white will cover that. So let's put this in another color so I can see it. That top white right there, we're going to leave that there for a second, okay, for a very important reason. But up here, let's go ahead and double click that and put that dark color back on there. Okay, so all of this right here can go. All of that can go. So now we have those two pieces. which is where I want to be. I'm fine with that. So here on this black, I'm going to select this black and I'm going to put a little choke on it. We'll do a 1-point choke on that, and we'll turn that to white by adding that outline. Okay, now on this black right here, on this white right here, if I just had choked that whole thing, then I have a white outline that's supposed to be around here, right? And so I don't want to choke that white outline that was supposed to be around there. And I'm going to show you guys. So for example, this here is choked back, and so it would take away from this white line here. So what I wanted to do was leave this horse on top. And let me go back and move it back, because remember, you can't move things. You got to have everything exactly where it is. So I don't want to take away from that line. I still want that line to be nice and beautiful. So now we'll take that and we will just convert that to black. And we will do what's called a spread. We'll make a black outline. And you see how that gently spread it over that. And what I'm going to do is I'll make that one go up to a 1 point. We'll make that one a 2. We'll do that one a 2. Okay, so now if you notice, we have our underbase choked here. So when we lay that red on top, that's choked. But we have that outside, that beautiful wing on the outside that's still going to be nice and white. Okay, so let's go ahead and take this and just go ahead and lock it so that we don't move anything. Now, I have a couple of choices with this yellow. I don't want to do an underbase on the yellow and then turn around and do a white underbase and then have to turn around and print yellow on top of that, and then have to turn around and print blue on top of that. So there's a couple of ways that you can do this to make it nice and easy. I'm going to use a nice bright opaque yellow that's going to be just a one hit, and I'm going to use the yellow as an underbase, so to speak. So we'll actually be flashing 2 colors in this job, and everything else will be printed wet on wet. So what I'm going to do is not even use an underbase on this at all. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this, and now we have our underbase. So let's go over to our yellow channel, and we might as well double click and just make this the color. Now when you're designing, you don't have to make this that color, because you're going to, and actually because you're going to have to go back in and delete this color. So I'm actually putting the page color on here just as a reference. Okay, it's early in the morning, y'all. Early in the morning. Okay, so our next color is going to be our yellow. So since we're going to do our yellow, we are going to delete everything that has to do with the yellow channel except for the yellow. And we won't even have to do any type of spreading here, because this yellow is going to be the outline, so we don't have to do anything with this. All we're going to do with this is convert this to black. Okay, so now we have our original channel, got our underbase, and we have our yellow channel. We're going to lay that blue right on top of that yellow. Trust me, been doing this for a long time. If we didn't do it that way, we would have to do 3 colors, and we would be choking and spreading, and it just gets complicated. So I try to teach people an easier way to get this stuff done. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's figure out this red channel. So now we have our red channel, and we'll go ahead and put, I won't even put the, yeah, I will. Just for the purpose of learning, we'll go ahead and put that on there. So we're going to delete everything on the channel that's not red. go ahead and delete this. And now this is when it can get totally tricky. So we have our red channel, and let's take a look at what we want to do with the red. Now the red is going to sit directly in the white, and so that first red is not going to be a problem at all. So let's go ahead and turn it to black. Because we're looking and it's not going to be, now why did that go? Okay, because that is a blue. I was about to say, now why did that not change? So that first red, we're not going to choke it, we're not going to spread it or anything, because when we go over here we have a solid white underbase, and that's going to just be, our white is going to be just fine. So let's go here. Now let's zoom in, because when I do these colors here is where the thinking comes in. So I'm going to look at this and I'm going to say, okay, so when I print this, I'm going to already have the white base laid down, and then I can print this red, and I know I'm not going to have any kind of problems. Let's go ahead and delete the blue. Okay, and so now this is what we have. We have the red. So let's say we have this red here. Let's go ahead and turn our red to black, and we'll go here and turn this red to black right here, and those little dots in there, we need to either delete them or turn them to black. Let's see here. Yep, we need to turn those to black. So I'm surprised that is not welded. Let's see if it's combines. Nope, nope, nope. It combines and puts everything there. So we're going to have to manually do those and make those little fix that up. I guess it was came over as with the text vectored also, and it's something that I did not realize. Okay. Sometimes when you are printing thin words like this, when you're printing thin words like this, we're going to lay the red on top of that white, so this would show, right? So what I like to do is I like to spread my letters, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually select those letters, and I want to try to select them all at one time. Corel is still working in the background and not letting me touch anything, so there we go. You know how I got that duplicate there. Just go there and lock this. Okay. So what I like to do is I do like to put a very, very small spread on these outlines. So I'm going to go here, and it's just going to be a thin hairline, and I'm going to convert it to white. That way it's going to give me just a little spread. Sometimes what happens is when you're printing that red, it'll kind of bleed out a little bit, and so we got that white a little bit thicker. Just a little bit thicker, y'all. Just a little bit thicker. Here, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to add a outline on it, and just a hairline. It's not much at all. Okay. Now there is one thing that I need to do, because these are not, we don't need to add anything to this one, to those little dots. We have to go in and, you know, fix those, because they're not actually text. and we don't want it to actually disappear on us. So hopefully I got all of these. You want to be able to see these nice and thick and all of that good stuff. Good morning, Chloe. Good morning, Chloe. Okay, so now we can actually delete this white that's out about there. Let's go ahead and delete that. And we can delete this blue here. This is our red channel. This is our red channel, y'all. So we'll go in and look at that. I'm going to leave that on the page as white because it's not going to bother anything. And so now we have our red channel. So now we need to have our blue channel. And our blue channel is just that background. So we're going to delete this yellow at the top. We don't need to do any yolks or spreads or chokes or anything to that. And then this blue, let's see how that blue is going to lay. That blue is going to be, when are we going to lay that blue? Are we going to lay that blue last? Or are we going to lay the red and then lay the blue? It matters on the direction that you're going to lay it. So let me take a minute and think that through. So we've got our red, and we can lay that red on top of that white, and then we can encase it with the blue. Or we can lay our blue and then encase the red. Either way, we'll make it fit. Okay, I know what to do. Okay, so in here, we're just going to take all of this stuff here and we're going to turn it to white. Okay. And then we're going to remove this red, take out everything that's red, and this in here. We're going to make this be, and I should have seen if I need to spread this or anything. So we have that. It's going to be solid, and then we're going to lay the red, and then we're going to lay okay, we may need to. So let me take a look at this again, y'all. So after we lay our white, we're going to lay our red on top, and then our red and our blue. Right now, what our red and blue is going to do is it's going to butt into each other. So one of these colors needs to be either choked back or one needs to be spread. And so let's see what we're going to do. And it's only around that little top casing. So let me actually put this color back. And think about it. Okay, so what I'm going to do on here is, I think we lay the blue. We've already done the red. We would have to go back and put a spread on the red. Let's see here. So we go back and we could just spread this background of this red just barely. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that and do a quick little spread on the red, and then we won't have to worry about it. Let's put a quick little spread on the red, and we're just going to barely spread that red out to where we just have a little outline so that when it touches, it's not butt, so you don't see any white peeking through. We don't want any white peeking through. We've solved that problem. Okay, So now we can go ahead and just do what we were doing with the blue. So if we're going to spread the red, that means that we need to lay the red on top of the blue. So we're going to change, before I do anything, I'm going to change my separation order. So I'm going to change it, and all I did was just pull it over. So I'll lay plate 1, which will be the underbase, the yellow. I'll do the yellow, I'll do the blue, and then I will lay the red on top of the blue, since I've already got that step done. You could do it either way. It's just a matter of which one you're going to spread or choke. Okay, so here let's go ahead and select all of that that's red and turn it all white. Oh, still didn't do it. Okay, and so here, turn that white. And we've already did our little spread, right? So we don't have to worry about that. Let's go ahead and delete all of this. And we have our blue. Now, over here, our blue is going to encase our white, which we did. Oh, we got a little bit there. We did choke our white over here on the underbase right here. Remember, we choked that white on the underbase, and so we have to now come in. We know, okay, when we choked it on the underbase so that that blue will lay across it, and so we don't have to be too concerned with that. Now, one thing you can do is you can then go here, because we don't have to spread this. You can go here and you can put just a little bit of a spread on it, which will spread it out, and make that, because we're going to turn all of this blue to black. So that would put just a little bit of spread on it. And let me look and see and make sure that that's not going to affect our white. This one is more of one of those designs that you have to, if you're doing it manually, well, look at me, I'm deleting stuff. If you're going to be doing manual separations, you have to really, really pay close attention to. So if I spread that blue outline, as you notice, it's going to spread in here. It's making a spread there where it's actually going to spread that blue into that white. And it's definitely not what I want to do. So let's fix that. Let's fix that. We don't have a white channel there at all. Let's see. I need to see if there was ever a white there, and it is. There it is. Okay. So I'm going to fix that. Let's go ahead and put a outline here around this page so that we can see what we're doing, because we ain't got time to be fighting once we get to the press. Okay, so our blue, let's go ahead and turn this red, because we've already choked the red. Let's turn that white and turn all of those little pieces there white also. Let's go ahead and do that. Now we have that solid white, and then we're going to do the same to the bottom. Turn it white, and then I'm not putting an outline on anything else. I'm just putting an outline on those little pieces so that they will be just solid white, y'all. Okay, so now I will go ahead and I will delete the red from there and leaving with the blue. Okay, because we have the two. So I don't want to mess with the blue here. on the, I want that white outline to still be there. So now I'm going to try to spread that blue back just a little bit. Okay. So we're going to take the blue and I will add a very teeny tiny outline to it, like so, as you can see. Okay. And then because I'm going to add that little teeny outline to it, you see it there, right? So let's move that back. So I'm going to add that little teeny outline to it, which was a 0.5. And then I'm going to take this white and I'm going to spread my white to 0.5, right? But that white is going to be turned into white. Now we have successfully just put the spread on. We did not mess with the white in this design. We just put a little spread going around the outside there of this design, okay? So now we can go ahead and turn that blue to black. And we have a perfect design that's going to be really, really easy. Like when I say easy, y'all, baby, easy, easy peasy to print. There we go. Okay. So what else do we have? So we have our red already done. We have our blue, and then we have this highlight white channel that we can also do. And let's go ahead and double click it, make it the page color, and then take that, delete this off, and delete this. Now, I've spent a little time on here with you guys creating this, and you know, you may say, whoa, this is a lot of stuff, but it makes it so easy when you get on press and you're able to just print, and move. So, adjust for that stuff in your artwork. Okay, so our highlight white is, take off everything here, and take off. So our highlight white has to be just white there. So our highlight white is going to be black. Turn it to black, and anything that needs to be highlighted, you want it to be black. So all of those little speckles there, you want those to be black. This red, we're going to delete. This red here, we're going to delete. And then, oh, what did I do there? I deleted that by mistake. I don't know why I did that. Sometimes I do the craziest things. Make that black. Make this black. Make this black. And you could just select all of these like this, y'all. You don't have to do it slow like me. This right here, we're going to make it white. Now, is this this going to be white, white, and all of that needs to be white. So make sure. All we want to do is to have the black outline over the white. Now, down here on the letters, we actually spread our letters earlier, and so we want to put whatever spread that we put on the letters originally, we want to make sure that we have that same spread so that they match. So here we have a hairline spread, and here we have a hairline spread. So on our highlight white, we want to add a hairline to those letters also. okay? And those letters do need to be turned to black because those are going to be our highlight letters. Go ahead and turn them all to black. And all of these will turn to black. And when I tried to combine it earlier, it just didn't work. So we're going to right click and put that hairline on there. And then we're going to go up here and oh, was not trying to move you. Go here and right click and put a hairline on that one. Now I'm going to go in and clean up those specks. We know that that needs to be white, and this needs to be white, and this needs to be white. And I am adding that hairline to the white because I did it on the other one, I believe. Let me check in the center and see. See, I added a hairline there to the black dot, so I want to do exact same thing on, I'm tripping here, on my white page here. So as I'm clicking those, I'm adding that in there also. So it takes a little brain power, but once you do this, you will get used to it. White, left click. Just gonna do that hairline. White, elementary school. We're gonna have some perfect Seps that's gonna be very, very easy for us to print, y'all. Let's go ahead and delete that. Let's type on here. Now, you could, because we have, it'll come on, we'll just turn it on over in Corel Draw. We'll just turn on those pages. So right here we have our white highlight channel right here. And you can either, if you don't want to type it in Corel, you can put highlight white. But it will actually show you the pages. It'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 when we go in and do it. Or you can do it manually. It does print it on there very, very small. So sometimes you may want to do it manually. So we've got highlight white, and this will be plate 5. Okay, that's our last color. Let's do here. Let's do our red channel. Let's go ahead and remove this from the red channel, and we can just take this wording, Control C, and go over here and hit Control V, and this would be red, plate 4. Plate 4. Okay, and then we'll hit our blue channel, Control V, and we'll type in blue plate 3. Showing you guys how to do this completely the manual way in today's video. And so there's our blue plate, and that's 3. Now, if you wanted to put on here the mesh counts, you can go in and you can put your mesh counts that you want to put on here. We'll go here. Let's take this off. Control, sorry y'all, Control V, paste it. This is yellow. And we know to flash it, but I will put a flash base, okay? because we're going to put that whole thing on top of that blue, and if you don't flash it, you're going to have some green ink. Yellow. Yellow base plate. No, that's going to be 2. I messed up, y'all, so we need, because we got the original, so this is going to be 2. Plate 2. And the underbase right here, if we use the underbase, delete and Control V. Now, the majority of times when I'm printing stuff, I don't use a white underbase at all with opaque inks. Okay, and we'll just, for the sake of we'll put white, but my guys already know that that is white. They're going to be like, why did you put all of that stuff on there? So now we have our white underbase. So this design is going to have the white underbase, and as you see, you're not going to see that white when you print it out. And then you're going to have the yellow, plate 2, blue is going to be plate 3, red's going to be plate 4, and plate 5. We did great. Okay, so red, make sure I took everything off of those. Yep, and we are good to go. So all we have to do is go ahead and let's just delete all of this stuff so that when I do come back in on my next time, we're going to save this. And then that one, and then here we have our original, and then we're going to file and save this as William Anderson Screens 2024, because we already have him in a couple of places, so we're just going to go ahead and save that onto 2024. And for now, I'm just going to put it on my desktop, and then I'll move it where I want it to be. So now we have this, and all we have to do is go over here to print. And select this one and go here to our pages. We don't need to select any separations because we're only going to do pages 2 through 6. We're not going to do that first page. So now we can go here and we can go to preview, and as you see, we have this. Now we see that leaning off the page, so we know that our page is not set up properly. So let's go back out and see what the dealio is. So this is set on 11 by 17, and let's see here. The pages are not set on 11 by 17. So let's just take these pages and set them on tabloid. If you're going to print on tabloid, just set them all on tabloid. Okay? And then just group them, or we can just go over there and go to fit. We can just do that and it'll do the same thing, but we can group these and then hit P on the page and it'll center it, and then group this one, Control G, and then hit P and it'll center it, and do the same thing with this one. That one's already tabloid. Hit Control G and P and it'll center it, and these are still going to print in the place that you need, because the only thing you're doing is grouping and centering. Control G and then P to center. Control, this one is locked. unlock it. Unlock it. Control G and P to center it. Okay, we got some stuff that's unlocked. Let's go here and unlock all, and then Control G and P to center it. And I don't know how I did. Now, how did I get that under base plate, that color? What did I do? Did I click on the wrong thing? So, okay, so the front one we're not going to worry about. Only thing we're worried about is these right here. And let's go here and let's go back and save it. And then let's go ahead and collect this whole thing for output, so that we automatically have any text, wording, Corel Draw file, anything that we have a whole pre-pressed file saved with our fonts that we created and all of that stuff, our color profiles and all of that stuff, and we will just go ahead and collect it, and let's go ahead and put it in a zip folder. And so we got all of that information saved in one file with everything that we did. And now we can go back over here and we can print this out. And you're going to see these colors right here. We're going to delete those because those are not going to be part of our design. Let's go here and make sure that we're on 11 by 17. And then I like to, because I am using just a regular Canon printer, I always like to push up this intensity over here on my prints. And let me take that back. We'll push it up to 8 today. Okay. And that will just help you have a good contrast. And if you push this up to about 7 or 8 on either one is okay. And then you've got that nice and dark. You're going to have nice and dark films. And let's hit OK on that. And then we're going to select pages 2 to 6 because we don't need that front page. And now we should be able to go over and look at our pages. So we got our underbase, we got yellow, our blue, and all of that. We don't have anything saying that nothing's gonna fix and print, not print. And all we have to do is print these films at this time. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the films ready to print. And as I do that, I'll be able to come over here and talk to y'all as we get these films ready to print. Okay. And yes, honey, we are showing stomach and all of that today. So it is what it is. Okay. So let's pull out a few films. We are going to use these 11 by 17 inch films to get our job done. And I just like to kind of separate my films beforehand. And of course y'all know that one side is going to be printable because these are for inkjet and one side's not. So I pretty much know that this is the side, but if you don't, just take and just stick, and the sticky side will be the side that you're going to print. So sometimes you can fan these and for them to be able to go in the printer all at one time. Okay, I'm going to answer you guys' questions in just a second. Okay. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need 6 pieces, and that will be fine. So I'm just going to put these over here in my printer and get these films to printing out. And hopefully they print out and I don't have to change the ink in here because I see that I got a blinking yellow light going on. So Why are you blinking? Okay. So let's go over here to the printer and just kind of come down with you a little bit. So here's the printer. Y'all say good morning to Chloe. Hey, Chloe. Come on, get out the way. Get out the way. So, I have to change the ink color. See, that's the blue and the gray that is popping up. And let's see if I have either one of those. No, that's not blue. That is gray and pink. That's popping up. And I'm out of those colors. But luckily for me, this printer will still print even when you don't have those colors. So I'll just have to hold it down. Move out the way, Chloe. I got all kinds of stuff over here because I'm still changing the room around. And hopefully I fanned those pages enough to where we don't have any problems. So I'm going to go ahead and get that to printing. Set that back over there. We're going to go ahead and get that to printing, y'all. And then once I click print, I will come and talk to y'all. Okay, so let's hit print. Oh, let me show you guys something, because something happened that I want y'all to see. Because sometimes this will happen to people and they're like, I can't get my printer to print. What the hell is going on? So let me just jump back over here. So I'm over here in print and I hit print, and then this happens and you're like, what? And so what that is that it's saving the print to file as a postscript file. And so you don't want that. You do if you want. I collected my artwork for output, and so I don't need to save this as a postscript file. The reason this is popping up, or a reason that you would want to be able to save your artwork as a postscript file, is if we had halftones. Then you will want to save it this way so that you can put it into your RIP software. We don't have that, so we don't have any halftones. We don't need to do a postscript file, so we're going to hit cancel. And then right here where it says print to file, we're going to take that off, and then we're just going to print that the way that it actually needs to be printed. And I have, of course, a support code that has popped up here telling me that, girl, you out of ink. And so I need to get online and order some ink, but we're going to force this printer to print today. And the way that I do a force print, now I'm not going to tell y'all to do this because this is not good and I don't recommend this, but I do it all the time because I know that I have the black ink in there and it's only printing black ink. That's the big difference between using an Epson printer and using a Canon printer. This shit will print when it says it's out of ink. So just hold that down for a few seconds until that light stops blinking. It should be good to go by now. And let's give it a second and see if it prints. Okay. So as we're waiting on that to start doing its printing, I'll clean up a little bit and we'll come back over to our main camera. So I don't know if you guys saw it because you're on the small camera. I didn't know. So let me come back over here. Okay. So you see right here, and I don't want to move the camera around too much, but right here there's a button, and this button was yellow. If you hold that button, then it'll just force the printer to start printing. So you kind of hear it going through its cycling right now. Okay. So let me go in here, and I did see some comments and check out what's going on in the comments. Okay. Okay. So, where are the comments? Where did I put y'all? Here we go. Okay. And again, I push y'all down there, right? Okay. I'm not using a separation program at all. I'm using Corel Draw, and I'm doing color separations in Corel Draw. So, you know, it's not per se a separation like a program like Separation Studio that's meant to just go in and set. We're doing manual separations in a professional graphics program, which is Corel Draw. You can do the same thing in Illustrator, and the reason I'm not doing this over in Separation Studio is because sometimes you need to know, when you are a professional printer, you need to know, or you do your own color separations, right? You need to know how to print that artwork for your press. You need to know how to print that artwork fast and efficiently, so that when you get on press, you're not dealing with some of the hiccups of that, because you use automated separation software, right? Because it will, when you use something like Separation Studio, the way that it seps is the way that it seps. So it doesn't look at stuff and say, oh, you could do this or you could do that. So it's going to do your seps. And if you have those registrations, it's like this, where you literally just have two pieces of something and they're just butted up to each other like this, and they're barely touching. So there's no overlap. When you're able to, when you go in and manually choke and spread, you're able to do that. Now you are also able to do chokes and spreads over here in Corel, and I'll show you guys where you're able to do that at real quick while we're waiting on these papers to print out. So if we go back over here and we go up, as if we're going to go into the print menu here. If we were doing this as separations, let's click on separations. If we were printing this as separations and we're using a rip, right, then we can go in here. And you see this button here called auto spreading. You could actually auto spread, and you could even set your width and all of that stuff. Now this is not highlighted because I'm not using a PostScript printer. I've showed you guys in other videos how to use GhostScript to do this, so I'm not going to show it in this video. We got our first film that's out, which is our highlight plate, and so that's why we're doing it manually today. For those of you guys who want to know why she switch up her separation the way that she does it, why didn't she go in and do it this way? And that's the thing is, sometimes, you know, you have to, there's not one way to do anything. There's not just one way to do a job. It's always going to be multiple ways. And I tell you guys, you have to, you can't fake it. You cannot fake it in this business. You cannot fake it. You have to learn how to do this. So here, this is going to be our highlight channel. Now, as the Seps come out, you're able to put them all together, and then you will see how they will lay. Okay? And these are our registration marks. So our registration marks will just lay each job on top, one on top of the other. as they come out. So this is plate 5. And we're waiting on our other plates. Now, one thing that you did notice is that, and this is the difference from when I'm using a Epson printer. You guys know I'm an Epson girl, right? And Epson, I love y'all. But I really wish that you guys would get your films to where when you print films, you don't have to print them through the printer one at a time. I was able to lay all 6 films through the printer, fan them out, and they're all printing. That's a problem that you have with Epson printers. You have to sit there and manually do it one by one. Okay, so here we go. And so that is another film. And this one is still the film when you bring it out, right? Because I did increase the density on it. And again, this is just using, we're not using a all black max or anything like that. And we still have a really nice dark film that's going to print beautifully. Let's make sure that it is dry, and it is. So this is plate 4, and that's the plate that we would pop our highlight white into. So let's just go here and look at it and see. You guys can't see, but I can see. So there is our highlight white. So there's our highlight, which is going to cover over that beautifully. Now I'm moving it, but when you put these registration marks and you line them up properly with each other, you will be able to see that you will not see any color peeking from behind it. And that's what you want. And if you flip your job over to the side, to the back side of your films, and you look, you can see the thin lines where you have done your overprints, your chokes and things like that. It's hard for me to hold it up here for you guys to see it, but you can see the thin lines. Now the other thing is, I'm going to put this film together, and I'm going to show you guys something because I moved the designs. So you see here, if I just put this film together like this and try to go to press, it's not going to be right. These, you have to align to your registration marks, right? I see people say that, hey, I don't use registration marks. It's going to come a time that you're going to do some tight registrations that you're going to need to know how to do this. So learn it in the beginning, and just know it doesn't matter where this prints out as long as you line up those films. And so here we go with our plate 3. And plate 3 is probably going to be the one plate that we are going to, plate 3 is going to be the plate that we're going to register the jobs to. So, and the reason being is that plate 3 has all of our design on it, or it has the, you want to register to the film that has the most of the artwork on it. It's going to be easier to register that way. So this is going to be the film that you would register to plate 3. You would set that up on your registration template, and then you would register all the other colors to that template. That looks really, really nice. It's going to be really, really easy to print this baby. Yes, God. And I'm going to go in and check these. And that is going to be great. Absolutely great. Plate 3, plate 4 is our highlight white. Plate, let's go with these two. Plate 3 and 4, so blue and red, and that's what matters. The main thing that matters on this job is the blue and red. I've done this job before, so that's how come I know how to go in and do it. Yeah, that's gonna be it. So we will not have any peeking out going on this job, right? It's going to be nice, 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 nice. It's gonna be nice. That surely is. It looks like it's a huge print, but it's actually not. It's a little bit big for 11. It's 10-4, which will be fine here. Let's go check the job proof, y'all. Let me go check the job proof. Let me see if see what the job proof looks like on this one. I'll go over to the email and check the job proof. I do remember that last time this part here was really big, and no, I don't want to do any backups in Corel. I don't. Do not fuck with me today, Corel. Do not fuck with me today. Okay. So let's go over here and to go in and check my emails, y'all, to see where I sent out the proof. Where is the print approval? Approved to print. Send it over shortly. This is here we go. Yeah, it is a big print. So this is what this job is going to look like here. And I'm looking to see, did I put any measurements on it? And I did not. So it will be fine. Let's go back to side by side. So here is the print, and it's going across the front. So that will be fine. And so, oh, look at that underlace, baby. Oh, yes. Okay. Alrighty. Let's go back over here and close that out. And come over here and say my final words to you guys. Okay. So, yes, I know they have the what do they call that tray? Yeah, I know they have an extra tray that you can order, but obviously you can't do it directly from the printer. Those ditto trays, that you'll have to order something different. So, you know. Let's see here. I'm trying to get over here so that I can read the comments, y'all. Let's see here. See what else Elevated Ink said. So they sell a tray too for the Epson printer that lets you put 6 or 6 sheets. Nice action program, does pretty much everything you're doing. Even marks is needed, even 1C. I don't know what that means by 1C, but yeah, I've seen action Seps, and basically you're still doing everything that you need to do in it anyways. I actually could have pushed a button and did the Seps with the button myself over in my macro that I use. And action Seps is not for Corel, it's for Photoshop users. So, you know, it's a little difference, and it's different things, different strokes for different folks. Not one way to skin a cat in any program. But again, you know, everything that when you use an automated software, then you don't have that flexibility to go in and actually change things. And so I don't consider Action Seps to be a automatic separation program, because you still have to go in and do things. It doesn't like you just put it in there and boom, like how Separation Studio does. So when I say separation, I still consider that as a manual, as you're doing manual Seps, because you're still doing some things. With Separation Studio, you're not doing anything. And so that's the difference. The video is speeding up on you. I'm sorry. Okay, guys, so all right, enjoy your walk. So guys, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get off of here. Maybe in another video I'll show you another way to do things, but again, I'm always on this channel. There's not one way that I do things. I'm constantly doing things differently and showing you guys different alternatives to do things. I have the ability to do automated Seps, but the truth of the matter is you cannot be stuck on any program to do your separations, right? So you need to know how to do manual Seps if you're a printer and let's say, for example, your software goes down, because the truth of the matter is with dealing with places like Separation Studio and Separation Studio, which is software for screen printers, you're paying, right, those subscriptions, those long time subscriptions, and you're going to be paying for a subscription every year. So I think with software for screen printers, with Separation Studio, AccuRib, you're paying like $300-400 a year to be able to have access to use those programs. Now with Micah Design stuff, I know that I think Action Seps, he's doing, I think he has a one-time fee that he does over there, and I've seen his stuff and I haven't used it, so I can't really speak on it. But if I was going to do my separations in Photoshop, I would definitely be using Seps by Scott Freshner. That's just me, because he's the greatest to ever do it. And so that's what I would use if I was going to pay for something in Photoshop, right? So that's just my take on it, y'all. So alrighty, I'm gonna go ahead and jump up off of here. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and I hope you learned something, and I will talk to you guys in the next one. And I'll try to put up a picture of this design. I normally try to do that, but y'all know sometimes it does not happen that way. Let's see here if okay, yeah, this is not long at all. So this design in its entirety is 11 inches long. So it will be fine on the shirts. Alrighty, y'all. See y'all in the next one. Bye-bye now. And that